Save the worst for last, huh? How we doing today? It's a nice warm day in Pittsburgh. Spring ball. I also call it winter ball here the last 2 years. I think it was a solid day. Obviously, there's no pads on. Maybe a little rusty at different things. We'll get to watch the tape, but I thought we had a good tempo overall. I'm looking at practice mechanics and moving around, and there's just some details that we got to clean up as far as that goes, and we'll just keep getting better every day in practice. So, questions?
How different is the offense going to be this year?
Yeah, there's going to be there's going to be some similarities. Jerry, I'm not going to talk structurally as far as what we're getting. Obviously, you'll see it in the spring game, but we're going to do what we did well a year ago, and we're going to fix what we didn't do well. That's that's simple. So if you're running the ball well, why change what you're doing? And if you're not throwing the ball, change and revamp that, and let's throw it the right way.
I feel like 2 years ago there was an emphasis on carrying over a lot of the success you had on offense and trying to do a lot of the same things. Are you maybe giving Mark more free reign?
Mark has free reigns, period. I mean, it's his offense, but no coaches, not smart enough to look at the tape and go, man, I really like that play. That looks good. Let's do that again. And then you look at that and you go, man, that doesn't look very good. Let's stop doing that. I mean, that's what coaches do. Like everybody says, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And there's obviously a lot of things that we can fix, on all three phases of the game. And we're gonna, that's what we do in the offseason. That's what we've been doing since we got off the road in February. Is evaluating what we're doing offensively and defense and special teams. We got books this thick on, just detailing out what we did on every single play. We've added every run, every pass on both sides of the ball, every special team. So we got all kinds of stats. I could just give you guys books of them. So that's what we did in the offseason. Now we're out here to fix those things.
Because we were looking guard.
Wheeler looks good. He asked me down there during our field goal period, like, hey coach, how do I look? I was like, Rashad, I have no idea. I mean, I didn't just watch you. He's like, I thought you might have caught a play. But Rashad's excited, and we'll watch the tape. I mean, that's what we'll do for the next 3.5 hours is evaluate the tape and see what improvements he needs to make. I said, ask Jimmy Morrissey. Jimmy will know. Jimmy's like, he did pretty good. So Jimmy Morrissey said he did pretty good.
Why do you think he can make the transition?
Why do I think? Because he's a good athlete. I mean, I think when you talk about just the evolution of, wherever I've been, I think for the first 6 or 7 years at Michigan State, the only drafted lineman we had was a kid named Dan France from North Royalton High School in I guess, southern Cleveland area. He was the only drafted lineman that we had in our first 6 or, you can go back and look at the documents there. But he was a defensive tackle that we recruited, and they ended up being a guard for the Bengals. That's the first one I can remember that we had. Then Conklin came after that. But D linemen that are big athletic guys that are they got great hands and great feet. I mean, he runs around really well, and it just adds to the athleticism. It's no different than a Mike Herndon. It adds to the athleticism of an offensive line. I think anytime you move a D tackle, we've had a lot of success through the years.
What do you like about Phil's game to move outside linebacker?
You look at Sean Ido, who graduated. It was like, we're always looking to see how we can get our best 11 players on the field, and we had a couple of safeties that we like, and Phil, can always go back and play safety. Don't get me wrong, but we wanted to see he's just a physical football player, and he fits the mold. That position's kind of a hybrid safety, outside linebacker, and it's just really getting our best 11 on the field. And we've got a lot of teaching to do with him, but I think it's going to be a great opportunity for him to get a lot more reps.
That's big picture-wise. When we first talked to Mark, he said he met with the quarterbacks, and they were kind of like, all right, what can we do now to catch Clemson in this? You're opening a new year, a new spring ball. You've taken that step of winning the Coastal. I mean, is that being talked about around this team? Is like, we've gotten to Charlotte. What can we do now to make sure we finish the job?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what you do. I mean, it's like that. We're going to be a little bit we're one step closer to where we want to be. There's a lot of teams that like to have been in that championship a year ago, but I think our guys kind of learned, and you hear little comments, not necessarily addressing it, but you're hearing comments from our kids like, Coach, we're taking it this year. It's like, we're going to go get it. I think it's one thing to get there, it's another thing to win it. But I think the experience is everything. I think you got to be there now. I think they're a little bit hungry to go take that next step.
It seems like you've got, even after moving Campbell, a number of guys that are feeling like they can compete for a job at safety alongside DeMar, whether it's Stalker, Coleman, Garner, Ford. It feels like that's a pretty deep position for you, even after the move.
That was one of the things, that we looked at. And again, like I said, Phil could still go back there and be a safety. I mean, if we had to play a game tomorrow, I would say Phil would be the starting safety because he's got the most experience. But that's, we got 15 days and we got all of August to get those guys right back there. But Stalker's, continually showed improvement through the years. Paris Ford continues to get better. He's got more confidence. I like what I saw to him today, and it's just going to keep getting better. Mentally, he's been really good in the classroom. We were going through kind of a video test yesterday with him. So he's worked hard at it, and he's just going to continue to work at it. So he knows what to do, but he's a playmaker as well. And we know what DeMar's done.
And along the line with Paris, have you seen like a maturity light go off with him? He was telling us about how much more mature he is now. Have you seen a big growth in that regard?
Yeah, and again, you see it on the field and off the field. And I'll just point this out. Like a week ago, he was. We got 2-week blocks for study. Oh, forget football, because it's if you don't have this one down here and you're not mature down here, you won't be mature up on the hill. But just I don't want to throw out his study hall hours, but he was short a couple hours. But we give you 2 weeks to get your hours in. So if you're supposed to have 8 hours, week 1 and 8 hours week 2, how many does that equal? 16 total. So he's got to get those hours in. Well, if he only gets 6 the first week, what's he got to get the second week? 10. So not only did Paris get 10, he got 12. He got 2 extra hours of study hall. That shows maturity right there. It wasn't like, he wasn't, moaning about I got to get 10 this week. He went and got 2 more. So that to me shows the maturity up there, which is going to transfer on the field as well. So he's really grown up. I'm happy with where he is right now. And that's what happens. I mean, everybody takes a little bit longer. He's a great football player. He'll make a lot of plays. We just got to get him on the field. Anything else?